We are live. What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing today? It is Tuesday morning. We have a lot to talk about. The fight week ahead. We have fights Friday morning here in Australia that go all the way through the weekend. And I must remind you, we have midweek fights next week here in Sydney, which I will be going to. That Sydney card is Wednesday night next week. So this is Tuesday this week. We have almost 8 days. I mean, the fights technically start Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have a lot to get into. I just want to do an intro, guys, so you know what's happening on the channel in the next 6 hours. I will be uploading my Imam Khataev fight breakdown stats don't lie video on the channel, so keep an eye out for that. We have the big card, a couple big cards in the States. We have a card in Mexico. I'll get into all that. Guys, in the Discord, I just updated the boxing schedule. I gave you guys the links for the live call-in chats. If you haven't joined our Discord, our Johnny Says Boxing VIP Pro Bettors Discord, boxing, MMA, NHL, football, basketball, do it now. That link is pinned right there. As the chat heats up, the link will stay pinned. Click it to find out more. It's a couple bucks a month. I do want to make an exciting announcement. For over the last few months behind the scenes, I've been working with a software developer, a programmer, to come up with YouTube's first ever 24/7 live stream, all things boxing. I'm going to put it on the screen. Boxing News Now. I'm going to have it pinned here in a second. I want you guys to go join. Hit subscribe. It's a separate YouTube channel that's affiliated with us. It's affiliated with Johnny Says Boxing. It's affiliated with our Discord. I want everybody who follows me on YouTube to follow that channel, because in the next few months, as this grows, our insiders are going to have VIP sort of availability on that live stream, which I haven't announced yet, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about if you don't know what I mean. All right, this is the link. I'm gonna let it take the whole screen up. Guys, this is a live stream. Go to Boxing News Now on YouTube. The link is right here. Hit subscribe. We launched last night. This is the only live stream 24/7 on YouTube that is all boxing. You also see the odds on the right. So we have the live betting odds. This was brought to life by conversations we've had on this live stream. So Boxing News Now, it's a project of mine. That I've been working on for a long time. So I'm really excited about it. All right. Is my audio still on? Let me know if my audio is still on. What's up, King of Fitness? Hit a like on the way in. You got any locks for tonight's NFL game? I'm not betting on the NFL today, boys. Give me a 1 if my audio is still on, because I muted that screen. I want to make sure that my audio is on. 1 that you could hear me. Dwayne, I'm staying locked in with boxing this week. I'll have a look for you, Dwayne. You know what? I'll have a look. I'll post it in the Discord. Is my audio good? It's off. Okay. All right, so we're going to take a look at the betting options. Guys, go to Boxing News Now. Follow it on YouTube. I mean, what other... Come on, guys. We have a 24-hour live stream now. That's freaking awesome. I think that's awesome. For all you boxing nerds like me, Come on. The idea came about because when I was a kid, growing up in the whole like Sports Center era in the late 90s, early 2000s, I would get home from school and I would just put Sports Center on all day. And it would just be a running, updated of what's going on in sports, scores, news, and that was the genesis of it. So Boxing News Now, it's our new source for 24/7 news. These are the current odds. I'm gonna start saying what's up to the boys. Make sure you're hitting. Make sure you like the video on the way in. Mike from Melbourne, sup Johnny? Did Khataev get cleared for popping for a PED? You doing tape on body? Oh yeah, I'm taping all these. So we got Badu Jack versus McKajon. That's a rematch. We saw that in Riyadh earlier this year. That's later on in the weekend. Kubrat Pulev versus Gassiev happens after Khataev. So I'm doing tape on that. I mean, that's the Bulgarian. That fight's in. Let me see where that fight's at. I put it up in the Discord. I don't think it's in Russia. Yeah, Badu Jack's on Triller in America. It's in Dubai. Pulev versus Gassiev's in Dubai. It's that UAE IBA heavyweight. So guys, this is our Discord. What I'm gonna do is some of the boys in the Discord aren't even, keen on how all this stuff is working. So it's always good for me to remind you guys. So it's not just boxing. I'm gonna show you, I just uploaded the boxing schedule. So for the insiders who are in the Discord, guys, make sure you're using all of these sources. Here's the boxing schedule. I just updated this yesterday. So these fights, guys, are correlated. These fight cards are correlated with what our books, Bet365, is offering right now on the odds. So there's 5 fight cards. You guys got action from 5 different fight cards, and it's only Tuesday in Australia. It's only Monday in America. Okay, so here's the first one. So this is Thursday in America. This is Friday morning. It's in Quebec, Canada. Alexandra Gomont versus Ramadan Hisseni. But the one we care about is Amon Khataev versus Adam Deines. We've covered Amon Khataev twice on the channel. I've been aware of him because of his domestic connection with George Kambosos and George Kambosos Sr., the father who's a promoter. Khataev is signed to Kambosos Sr.'s promotion company. I think it's Ferocious Promotions. And we saw him against a really tough Argentinian fighter, Derval Palacio. I did a Stats Don't Lie video. If you guys want to get sort of reminded or get refreshed on Khataev, just go to my playlist fight prediction and type in Amon Khataev. You'll see the video. I broke down the tape of him versus Derval Palacio, and I broke down the tape of him versus David Morrell. Now, two different the Derval Palacio fight, he was up early and it looked like he was trying to close the show early. And he was in there with a really tough Argentine, far from a perfect record, but I don't think Palacio had ever been dropped. And, you started seeing Khataev, you know, gas out a bit. When you're all gas, no brakes, when you're that bodied up, that muscular, you're going to gas. You can't be pushing the same way at 10 as you were at 1. And then going into the Morrell fight, a lot of us were like, all right, Morrell looked good against Benavidez. Morrell is a level above Khataev. And I don't know if Morrell took Khataev lightly, but Morrell won a close split decision. And a lot of people in the Khataev camp were saying they were trying to scream robbery. So going into this fight, Khataev, did he pop? Let me pull that up. I forgot about that. This is from July 2025. The ITA reports that boxer Imam Khataev has been sanctioned with a 2-year period of ineligibility. Then what the hell? I'll look for a follow up. This was in July. The International Testing Agency, on behalf of the International Boxing Association, reports that Russian boxer Imam Khataev has been sanctioned with a 2-year period of ineligibility for an anti-doping rule violation. Clomiphene. So clomiphene is I'm familiar with what clomiphene is. Some people back in the day they used to call it clomid. So clomiphene is so guys don't get bitch tits. Basically, it helps the longer outcome of having high estrogen levels in your body as a man is developing breasts. We had a guy on a chat. I'm not going to put him on blast. You guys might remember him. He's a bodybuilder and he's a natural bodybuilder. Natural. Go check on his Instagram. He posts photos of his shirt off and he has bitch tits. So his bitch tits are when the nipples sag. So everything looks all muscular, right? But the nipples sag, right? Because that's from taking junk. So you would take clomiphene or clomid for a few different things. Bodybuilders would take clomid and clomiphene for the optic, the aesthetic. So I don't want bitch tits. And fighters who are taking it are trying to level out, basically taking their natural hormone levels to a homeostasis, a sort of natural playing field. So this is what he got popped with. I'm gonna try to find and I only know that because I used to live with a guy in South Carolina who used to make steroids. So when I was 20, I told this story on the stream before. Rest in peace to Nick Thompson. He died. His heart exploded during a strongman event in West Virginia. This is all public record. I was 20. It would have been 2002. I was living in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, playing baseball down there for the summer. And I was living with a bunch of savages, baseball players, guys who were I'm talking like a house of 10 just savages, dude. All from like some were from Maryland. I was from Ohio. Some were from South Carolina. Some played football at the school. It was their first season. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. I think 2002 was their first season of having NCAA Division I football. One of the boys was making a steroid in our kitchen called Phenoplex. And the way he would make Phenoplex is he had to sign up on a cattle website. So he was a good old country boy from, I think Nick was from Frostburg, Maryland. Look at my memory. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Nick. Rest in peace to Nick. Adam, hopefully you're still alive. But these fools were so in deep to it that they signed up to a cattle website, like some sort of like a cattle. If you're raising cattle on a farm, you have to sign up for like some organization. That then allows you to then apply for cattle pellets, which is like for feeding and growing the cattle. He signed up for all that. He would get these pellets that were like that big, and then he would put them in the oven, and he would bake them. So they were like that big. This is so fucked up. He would bake these pellets. Now, these pellets they would give to the cattle normally because they were fucking cattle steroids. Because the bigger the cattle get, the more you could sell, right? If you actually have fucking cattle. We didn't have fucking cattle. We just had dudes making homemade steroids. And he would bake it, and then when it got to a certain degree, he'd pull it out. And I've always been a nerd for processes. If you guys didn't know, you guys probably like just learning the technique of anything. I was that little kid in class raising my hand, asking questions. The whole class is supposed to go out for recess, and my punk ass was asking questions. You guys hated me. I was that kid in 4th grade. You guys hated because I was always asking the teacher questions about processes. Why are we doing this? But why do we have to do this? Why? That sort of thing. So I'm watching Nick do this. He would bake the pellet where it would get soft, and then he would kind of take this little mallet, and then he would crush it up slightly, and then he would take this oil, and then he would pour the oil on the pellet and put it back in the oven, and he would bake it. And then the oil in the pellet, when he would bring it out, he would take that and he would drain it through a coffee filter. Breaking Bad's going to come on real quick. Let me finish this story. He would drain that through a coffee filter, and so the pellet and the oil would drip through these little bottles. That was called Phenoplex. And I know about Clomid and Clomiphene because they would also take to that anti-estrogen blockers so they wouldn't get bitch tits But fast forward 8 years later, Nick Thompson was he was a world's strongest man guy in West Virginia. I hadn't talked to him in years, and he was doing an event. His heart exploded. He died when he was 28. Horrific. But that's how I know that is. Welcome Breaking Bad to the stage.
I just think that's like kind of a ironically universal, perfectly timed to bring on Breaking Bad boxing. Of all time, you're out here talking about chemistry, and you can't make this shit up, and here I come. I hear what you're talking about. I'm like, man, are we talking about making something over here? It sounds like some real chemistry, man, which is hilarious.
Did you, because they were asking me about Imam Khataev's failed drug test in July, and I was reading the article, and he popped for clomid. So I just went on a rant. You know, these live streams take you down some roads.
Absolutely. Make sure you don't get bitch tits with that clomid, dog. How are you?
Good, man. How are you? Your weekend went well?
Yeah. I mean, the pre-flop predictions I gave out weren't necessarily great just because I went so high on Jayapatawa pre. But we ended on a great note. We ended on a 4-for-4 streak on the last ones because I gave out Manuel Torres by finish, so that was a really good one. Leaf near Tehran and a leaf.
We came together because we on the Manny Torres. I got a couple messages because I wasn't aware. I threw him on the money line, and then you called beautifully the exact outcome, which is kind of your strength and how you bet. You like finding those literally specific how the fight's going to end, and I'm more of a. I like, money line, sort of like underdog sort of thing. But yeah.
I mean, if you're finding an underdog money line, you don't even have to search for anything too crazy. My thought was just Manuel Torres, like his way of finishing was going to be an early stoppage in the end of the day. And I gave him a little bit more equity on the ground to stay alive for 3 rounds than a lot of other people did. So, yeah, man, I was pretty excited to get that one. We got Oshaki Foster. We got the Oshaki Foster money line. On my official prediction, I gave out a draw. The minute we saw the weight miss, we quickly flipped that to an Oshaki Foster money line. Just because someone that's usually a consummate professional like Cool Boy is, for him to come in overweight and for him to come in and looking unconfident in himself. And we saw a 12-0 shutout, quite frankly, here. So there, to end with, and then we ended the night with one last call I was pretty happy about. We almost ended a perfect night because I gave out a parlay that was Isaac Cruz most punches thrown and Alessandro Lara knockout. And of course, he gets the huge drop in the last 15 seconds. But, it was a good night, especially with live betting. Live betting is really also where you're going to make your most money in boxing. I mean, if you're listening right now and you like betting on boxing, I highly recommend live betting just because we called the draw, gave it out for free on Twitter for the Isaac Cruz Roach call. That was completely a Twitter call. And then we also gave out Kona Walker 2-way money line on Twitter at plus 700. The reason that we do the 2-way, everybody, I want to give this little bit of, I know in Australia it's a little bit harder. When you have the 3-way, it's the 2 fighters and the draw outcome, meaning that if you get the draw, you do not get your money back. You always bet the 2-way, which will be anywhere from 10 to 20 cents less, to save yourself from a draw and being pissed off at the end of the day. So, Boss Marv, what up? I hope you're right. You're right, sir. Tehran got the knockout. I mean, in the end of the day,
did you call Tehran over Ferrara?
Not only that, the knockout. To me, that's like my best breakdown I've given. So on the Patreon, I gave this to the Patreon boys here for Leaf near Tehran. That to me, I'm most proud of that call specifically, just because there's a few different things. When you watch Beatrice fight, she was consistently dropping her right hand when she was exiting. What's Elif Nur-Tehran's best punch? The sweeping left hand. So you just put 2 and 2 together. Elif's easily the biggest puncher she's fought. She's building in confidence as compared to Beatrice Ferreira's, quite frankly, downgrading fight over fight, looking less and less confident. 3 fights in the last 12 months, this being her 4th one for a 32-year-old woman, is not safe, especially for the scientific fact of the weight cuts. And then on top of that, let's just talk about pure probability, pure value. You're giving me Elif Nur-Tehran at plus 850 by knockout. That means the books have a probability of knocking out Beatrice at 10%. So if they fought 100 times, the books believe Elif knocks her out 10 of 100 times. In what fucking planet, Johnny, if they fought 100 times, as Elif Nur-Tehran doesn't get a knockout minimum 30 times? Minimum 30 times. So naturally, I'm going to line that fight around a what? Plus 250, plus 270? You're giving me over $5 worth of value on my theoretical thoughts, that's easy money. That's just playing the math, playing the numbers, playing the probability. Fight not to go the distance at plus 250. That's literally what I lined a Leafs knockout in. Then we add into that Beatrice could knock out a Leaf late. You're giving me fight not to go the distance at plus 250. That was free money, champ. A Leaf by knockout plus 850. Come on, man. You're just adding at that point probability,
especially how it played out. Like how a Leaf went about her business.
Literally as good as it gets, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when like what we do really feels good, but at the same time, when it happens, and it's hard for us, we like as content creators, as guys who people turn to us for our opinion, we have to remember to keep our ego in check too, though, because when it plays out like this, we look like the motherfuckers, and then we know the game we're in. You better get used to it not playing like this.
Well, just the morning, I got a horrible call with Jai Apataya. I was so confident. I laddered him down 1-2, 1-3, under 4.5, and it didn't play out. It didn't play out. Yeah. I understand that. I know for a fact that there are people just are better than me, just as good as me, that will shit on me and what they do in this space.
I disagree. I think you're a beast, and I wasn't talking about you specifically. I was speaking in generalities, by the way.
Oh, I already know. Yeah. I just think it is definitely. It's just to note that it is important to keep your own, your own ego in check, because this is one of my favorite calls I've ever had. I will stand on that because I love this call. It kind of made me tear up because the math, and I love a Leaf. Like, it sounds stupid. I have a text where I texted my homie, and I said, bro, I teared up on this call because a bunch of people hit me up and said, I took it. And it just was like, yes.
Bro, that's going to happen more and more, bro. It's exactly how I felt. Like, this is about your moment, so I'm not going to say.
No. Tell us your moments. This is your channel, Johnny.
No, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, when everything comes together, it's like, this is why we do it. You know what I mean? Because you're not just throwing shit at a wall. Some guys, some channels with hundreds of thousands and more followers than both of us combined, they might just be throwing shit against the wall and they're getting their subs because of, clickbait sort of thing. We put hours of research into it. So when it hits, it's important for us to feel like our hard work has paid off. But at the same time, when it doesn't hit, it's kind of like you have to know how to deal with that too. Did you watch? You played the Conor Walker, Pat McCormick. I broke that fight down and went the other way, and it was playing out exactly how I called it perfectly until it wasn't. And it was kind of like a great contradiction of what happened for you and what happened with me. Like McCormick, if he doesn't fade there, and I saw it coming though from like the 8th, and I'm like, oh shit, he's starting to fade. The pro game is not the Ami game. Conor Walker's dog.
An engine. He's
Conor
an
Walker's
engine.
Conor Walker's dog was like at the corner, and his like if there was him fighting, and then his spirit is this fucking Rottweiler with a thick ass neck in the corner as well, and his coaches are holding that dog back for about the 6th, 7th, and then you saw that leash getting longer, and then they just let the dog out.
I was watching. So as you know, I took Kona live. I didn't take anything.
Oh, you took him live. All right. Yeah, I didn't. That's perfect live bet that fight.
I was literally, and you can see. I was in conversations with people, and I told people I think the engine of Kona is going to be gonna give Pat some issues. I
said that in my breakdown. I was like, if Kona wins,
I thought it's going to be that. Win.
It's going to be that.
I was going to win.
Yeah, I was leaning on Pat. I was leaning on Pat's technique and his skill of being able to use the ring to get past that engine, because I always give the people a fight out, like a path for both guys. Even though I'm picking one guy, you got to talk about, all right, if he wins, this is what's going to happen. If he wins, this is what's going to happen. I think he's going to win. So in that situation, they both happened. I just picked the wrong guy.
So the reason I took Kona Walker live, and I took him after, believe it or not, I took him after the first round. The reason I took him after the first round is
no shit.
So there's a lot of things. So with Pat McCormick, he's a fast starter as compared to, it's literally the apples for apples thing. Fast starter versus a slow builder. You've heard me talk about it a few times. Pat McCormick, someone that's a fast starter, and Kona Walker did nothing to get inside. He didn't have to enter with jabs. He didn't have to set traps. He didn't have to cut off the outside foot. He literally walked inside. He walked inside the front door on McCormick free the first round.
No receipt.
Took the first round off of him and banged out 10+ body shots. And Kona Walker's the type of guy you want to put big dog money on. Will fight for every single dollar, doesn't fade late,
Yeah.
rips the
Yeah.
body, and gets stronger as the fight goes on. Those are the type of guys you want to live bet at big
Not
numbers
live
every
bet.
time.
Not the best.
Every time. Well,
Not the
because
most technical guys. The Brits, there's a few of these Brits who are like that. It's kind of
just
like their
engine
thing.
builders.
Yeah, it's kind of like their thing. They're not going to blow you away technically. They're not going to be Hall of Famers. But if you're looking from an equity, you always use that word equity standpoint of betting. It's people try to dog shit the Brits. I'm like, dude, this is some of my favorite boxing. I love watching British boxing. I always have loved watching British boxing. Maybe it's I live in a Commonwealth down here. Like these Brits would be fighting in the middle of an alley if there were no lights on. And there's something about that. These guys aren't going to be like I told you, Hall of Fame undefeated world champions, but they're going to fight. And it's a good
The
point that
boxing
you
fans
said.
will remember. People will remember the Kona Walkers of the world. Like I
Yeah.
have a homie, I have my boy from Ohio, and he's like,
OH.
and that dude is like, you wouldn't expect him to watch some random British boxer like Kona Walker, but you have him texting me like, nah, man, this man Kona Walker's the shit. I'm like, bro, like some dude you'd never expect, bro, like to be watching a Kona Walker, and sure as shit, he's some people's favorite boxer. Like it's a perfect, those are the perfect type of guys that if you sprinkle a little something on a plus 750 live, you're not even too pissed off if it loses because he will fight for your money tooth and nail, and at worst you may get a draw. So it was just it was
let me ask you this. Why do you what do you know, I like over analyzing my losses. Like it's a maybe it's definitely a psychological thing on my end, probably trauma from my childhood, but like I don't like talking about my wins. I'd rather like it makes me feel weird. Like, all right, we won, we're supposed to win, let's move on. The losses though, like for instance, I look collectively in our Discord, so it might have been 90%. It wasn't just my Discord either. It was Tommy, it was talking to Paulie, the Jaya Pataya under 6. How did we not see Chink's toughness?
Well, honestly, in my read for it is I just thought because Sin Cara likes to do two type of defenses we actually saw in this fight. Low hand reactions. He likes his hands low, tries to play that low lead hand reaction, or he likes to pull and counter. He likes to do one of the two. Keep his hands up and pull and counter. But in this fight, man, I don't really feel like he did any of that. He started doing the low hand reaction when he got gassed out after round 5, but that was more of a gas, dropping his hands doing the gas. I don't think he fought really. I don't think he really fought like his tape. And we see a higher volume Sin Cara. I thought Sin Cara would have walked forward into something or ran through something. But I just have to be honest, man. I don't think he fought anything like we saw on the tape. And one thing is, this is going to sound crazy. Maybe his will was just stronger than his body was. Because this is one thing. 40 years old. He didn't take the turn down money, 150K turn down money. So this was a man with a plan that was really right. So it was the intangible parts. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Again, it kind of comes down to a value and probability thing. Yep. If they were to fight 100 times, I'm pretty sure Jai gets him out of there. And I know this is going to sound crazy. He gets him out of there under 4.5 rounds, 50% of that time. So I'm going to take even money on that bet every time. Like there are some losses I'm okay with taking purely based off, in my term, probability. It comes down to your own probability sometimes, right? Like, you can't go, oh, man, he's a plus 150 underdog. But if you line him in an even money fight, that's when you take the plus 150 underdog. So
what do you make of what do you make from Mike's comments here? Could you read that?
Sin Cara, 2 reasons for our read. He fought lower level competitions and a tendency to wing shots when aggressive, which I thought Jai would capitalize on early. I think that's also fair too as well. My overall, do you mind if I read my quick overall write-up on the Sin Cara fight? This is exactly how I read it pre-fight.
Read it, bro. Read it, bro.
I actually think that's a really good write-up for Mike, honestly. Where did I have this right here? Holy heck. You never realize how much you have to scroll through stuff until you actually have to scroll through stuff.
Boys, as we're waiting for Nick, I just want to make an announcement. We have 33 people in here, going up to 40. Make sure you like this video. Guys, also for the boys watching who are in the Discord, I shouldn't have to hear from you guys that you guys have your content creators third hand. Let me know. Come on the live. We'll shout your channels out, man. We got a lot of guys in our group doing really good work. A lot of guys putting a lot of research in and take this shit really seriously, like myself and Nick. So if you're one of those boys, DM me on in our Discord and come on the live stream and show game like Nick is doing. This dude's a beast. Did you find your notes?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a beast. I'm still learning as the game goes along,
You
but
got to learn. I mean, this is why. So my first, the first book I got published, I wrote this chapter about being the contrarian. It's like a whole theory, the antithesis of the expert. Unless you're a heart surgeon, unless you're doing very specific science or tech work, the idea that you think you're perfect or you're an expert at anything is the wrong idea to have because you've already stopped learning. You're telling yourself you're the best. I'm the fucking expert. Okay, then you're telling the rest of the world there's no room for growth. There's no room to learn from your flaws, and you're perfect. So it's the best mindset to have. But being a beast, in my eyes, is more like adjectives used to somebody who puts work in, who cares about their product, and who takes pride in their work, in their efforts. That's
absolutely.
how
I
I would define
appreciate you.
beast.
I'm
That's
always
how I
gonna,
define beast.
as you know, man, like we talk about tape a lot too as well. I'm always gonna put
Yeah.
in the hours of the tape. Like that's
Nice.
and as you know, that's with being a full-time student, full-time worker, just having a life or trying to have a life as a young man. But so these were my overall notes on it. Just finished tape on Sin Cara, watched him fight Sands, Pijar, and a highlight clip his team posted a round one knockout of Juan Diaz. Let's break this down respectfully. Sin Cara is a sneaky athlete that likes to gist and glide in and out with flat feet. His defense is a blend of head movement mixed with attempts to turn opponents with low hands or pulling opponents into counters and traps, neither of which will fly versus Jai. To beat Jai or even give him fixed, you need to be a boxer first that can physically push Jai back. We've seen Jai come out fast versus Naika and Zoro. I think we see it here. Sin Cara is getting beat to the punch by club-level fighters in Sand and Pizarro, reacting to early face and is general just a hittable fighter. Opponents melt and become smaller and smaller versus Jai. At 40 years old, I expected the desire to want to box for a world title to diminish very early in Sin Cara, which it clearly didn't. Sin Cara will not have the physicality nor the disguised entrances to cause Jay any issues. To be honest, I rate Sin Cara lower than Claudio and Nikaya, and Jai handed them under 5. I see a round 1 knockout here. So, hey, we can't get them all right. That's just what it comes down to. Like we just said, we all can't get them right.
Did you write that after film?
No. That was my pre-film. That was after film. Yes,
you wrote it after film.
So that's what I saw. That's what I saw after the tape.
Okay, mate. Because there's a process. I probably only take. I can tell you real quick. I probably only take 2 sentences, but I'll do a pre-tape theory and then a post-tape theory.
I haven't thought about that. That's actually something I should start adding to my game. So what I do is I never look at lines before I tape. That's the one thing is I won't look at betting odds before I tape because that can naturally sway me. So 100%. I do my best to stay away from betting lines, but that's actually, I appreciate that. So give it because what I did pre-tape before Cruz and Roach, that was the only fight I didn't tape all week. And then I had this gut feeling to tape it before the fight leading up to the tape really quickly. Pre-fight tape Cruz or Roach, it's hilarious. And this was on Gary when Gary had me that one time.
Yep.
Heard me say, he said, how do you think it happens pre-tape? I said, I think Cruz wins a decision and you have everybody crying robbery.
Yeah, you said it.
Pretty damn close.
Yeah,
pretty damn close. Because Cruz was 1 point deduction away from winning. And if people cried robbery for a draw, shit, we would have never heard the end of it if Cruz actually won that fight. So that's actually good. I think I'm going to start doing that actually.
Yeah. You know what it does too? For me, why I do the pre and post, it allows me to have a mid anchor because if you're overthinking, I could be an overthinker on a lot of strategies with everything I do, not just this. And so it allows me, it's kind of like a thought experiment, like an anchor to come back to be like, all right, this is what I thought before. This is what I thought prior. And then also, bro, we get a lot of people messaging us throughout the week. You have a lot of side conversations. I told you guys this like a month ago. One of my biggest sort of like one of the guys I respect the most in this game, who's like a sharp, he's a beast. He's not on social media. Sometimes I have to avoid him during the week because we talk so much that it might kind of change the way I look at a read. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you have people like you guys go in depth and we're talking for hours and it's like, oh shit, this might kind of persuade my look. So there's a lot going on, dude.
I feel like that's one of my few advantages as a gambler I have is I'm not easily swayed. I mean,
nice.
You know this by now. You've seen how I talk in general. It's usually pretty respectful always, but if the kids use the term stand on business, I'm pretty much a stand on business kind of guy. I stand on what I say. I stand behind what I say, and that's my wins and my losses. And
Yep.
I'm
Same.
pretty good at not letting the outside noise affect what I say on the tape. But you can't lie. There have been a few times in life, this is undeniable, where you're just like, you second guess your pick, right? You second guess yourself. If I let everybody that was on Fulton make me second guess the tape, I probably would have
Bro,
stayed away from Foster money line. But
bro,
again, the minute you saw Fulton miss weight, you had to take Foster. Like you just
bro,
had to.
the last live stream of the weekend that I always do is the day before the big fights. And the day of the fights, I don't do lives. The day, and I have my own system. We all have our own systems. And on that last live stream, I told the chat, I was like, "Am I being fucking gaslit?" I was like, because the fight that I was selling everything on, if I had a fucking $1 million bankroll, was Foster beating Fulton. And I said it since jump based on how they fight, right? And I did two polls, one on Instagram. 70% of IG people on my channel said that Cool Boy was going to win. And on YouTube, 60% said Cool Boy was going to win. I was like, what are they seeing that I don't see? And I swear, this is going to sound kind of, no homo on this, or the boys say pause. I swear some people cheer for guys just because they look better than the other guy optically. I think there's some sort of psychological thing in our brains that we'll cheer for somebody because one will win a modeling contest and the other won't, sort of thing. That's the only thing that I came to. That was my conclusion. I was like, what? Surely they're not watching tape thinking Fulton was going to be Foster. I didn't see it.
People love Cool Boy. That's one thing.
They do.
He is loved amongst the boxing contingents.
Yeah.
Could be the Philly thing. It's
He was
no
a pound
doubt
for
has to
pound
do
guy.
with his fit, his last fit.
His outfit.
That's
optics.
a fact.
Yeah,
well, another thing too as well though is I'm just going to be honest with you, Johnny. You may have had 1,000 votes on your poll. Maybe 50 people actually did tape.
Watch
on
100.
I'm just
man,
at this point
a lot, bro.
This is why
50.
I've become so good at tuning out outside noise because
Yeah.
people that, and of course, even if you watch a bunch of tape, you get it wrong. Yanquiel Rivera, I always bring this up. Yanquiel Rivera, Angelino Cordova is my worst tape read.
What a weird fight, bro! It was that whole card though was weird.
You couldn't have expected a wrestling match, right?
But
you couldn't have expected a wrestling match.
The whole card though, bro. That card was cursed. That was the Yoenis Tejas fight. That was the Yankee fight. They were wrestling. He was shooting single legs and throwing hooks over the top in a boxing match.
It was insane. It became a grappling match.
Yeah,
so,
it was.
Again, even you could do a bunch of tape and still get wrong reads, right? But after watching it, man, I really realized people were not watching Foster. There were people trying to say that Foster is hittable. O'Shaquie Foster is one of the most sound defensively fighter. Literally one of the most sound defensively fighters I've taped. Straight up. He doesn't get hit clean. He rolls everything. Great distance management. Has those crazy wide eyes. Stares at you like this the whole time.
His vision's unbelievable.
If O'Shaquie Foster had a little bit more output, no one would say anything about him. They would call him a pound-for-pound guy because technically he's so sound. His jab's perfect. He can fight from both stances. Like, Foster's nice, man.
Yeah, I like that adjustment. I like when he started going Southie in like the fourth and he started catching Cool Boy with his backhand on the opposite side, with giving him both shoulders too.
He closed like a half inch of range just by closing that stance.
Oh,
and
it was a joy to watch
him.
Yeah,
it was a master. I literally put away I keep my scoring notepad. I put it away after round 6. Not exaggerating. I put it away after round 6. My only regret from the weekend is not putting all the money I had on Jai under on Foster money line. That should have been a hammer spot. Smash the books spot.
One of my regrets. I have 2 regrets: not hitting the draw like everyone else hit, and then I'm pulling up the ticket real quick. Our UFC picks. The ticket we hit, everything hit except the first fight. We were spot on.
Was it Jalen Turner sub points and he got a knockout?
No, it wasn't. No, the one we lost was he lost outright. He was a 2-1. It was a 32-1 odd ticket, and they all hit except the very first fight.
Sadikov?
Sadikov was the only one who didn't hit.
Smoked.
Yeah, so Sadikov didn't hit, but Myron Santos hit, Manny Torres hit, Tyara hit, and my biggest regret is not fucking putting money on Jan. Exactly what we were talking about. We said he could do everything. Fucking hell.
The Patreon boys, we ate on Yon Live. We cooked Yon Live. We caught Yon Live plus 150 floor, plus 150. We caught him live after he was up 3 rounds. He was still a dog. This is why live betting, Johnny, is the most powerful tool there is, because for whatever reason, books don't know how to bet fights live. They don't know how to line them live. Jan was up 3-0 and still a dog. Still a dog.
Going into that fight, though, if you guys pull up Nick and our live stream late last week, there's a segment of us talking about Jan versus Marab, and how we broke it down was exactly how it played out. I said I was like, Jan's a live-ass dog. I was like, people think he's done. I was like, this guy, he does everything well. We talked about his time at Thailand. We talked about his Muay Thai, his grappling.
Someone brought up the term redlining. I forget who it is. Shout out to whoever it was. And was like, man, he is redlining. Kiza.
Marab.
I got a big shout out to Kiza real quick. I got to say, my boy Kiza. That man, I'm not even saying this, has been calling Jan since this fight got announced. He's like, my boy's getting his belt back. He's probably, if you search Jan in the chat, in your chat, it's probably 28 messages and 17 of them are Kiza.
We could literally do that right now.
Like this man Kiza is like, it cracks me up, man. This man is not playing.
Kiza's a UK boy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then who is the kid that you went live with? What's his name in the chat? Is Mike from Melbourne the kid you went live with, or no?
Oh, Mike's my homie. He's from Baltimore. Mike talks, but Big Steve, he's somewhere from Australia.
Who's Big Steve? He's in the Discord. Is he from Australia?
Yeah, he's in Australia. He's Serbian, but he lives in Australia. He's just Big Steve. You know, he's a funny guy.
So my software developer, I might as well just bring it up. He's Serbian.
It's not as deep, but you can see Kiza. You search Jan Belt. You have 2 messages from Kiza 6 and 8 days ago. I've been saying Jan getting his belt back since he lost it. Fuck Marab. My boy Jan getting his yellow belt back. Kiza's so funny, man. He stood on it, man. He wasn't playing. He knew that Kiza.
Did he bet? So he bet on him.
Oh, you know that man Kiza bet on him. No doubt.
All right, boys. I'm pulling this up. This is what I was talking to you, Nick, about. Guys, this is our 24/7 live stream boxing channel. This is on YouTube. Go to it. Boxing News Now on YouTube. And Nick, did you ever watch SportsCenter growing up, or you're a bit too young?
Come on now. Stuart Scott. This is not an exaggeration. I don't have many people. Could you mute the YouTube screen, your YouTube screen? Because I hear the jazz in the background. Thank you. Yep. So fun. I don't have many people I consider like role models, right? Stuart Scott, someone I truly consider a role model.
Yeah, like, it was those days where
I love Stuart Scott. So
I mean, he was that whole era. Stuart Scott. This is when Rich Eisen was the man. Before Keith Olbermann was his brain got fried. These boys.
Rich Eisen's always the man, Johnny.
Hell
Rich
yeah,
Eisen's
Dan Patrick
always the man. Put some respect on Rich's name.
Yeah, Rich Eisen, Dan Patrick. But people forget because Keith Olbermann's gone so far liberal or whatever he is. I'm going to keep politics out of it. But Keith Olbermann at one time was the man too. Carlos Del got it. And but you get home from school and you could just put ESPN on and it would just be this constant flow. Ticker sport.
You wake up to ESPN, get ready to school for it. Top 10.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So this was my vision. I was like, we don't have that for boxing. How do we not have a boxing source or a site that you could just put on and have constant up to date? So my software developer is a Serbian kid. Shout out to Jovi. I told him about this 6 months ago. He comes to my house like a couple days ago. He's like, Johnny, I got a surprise for you, and did the whole goddamn thing. So this is a 24/7 live stream. I'll tell you what he did behind the scenes, how we get the content, and the odds on the right. So those are the most updated betting odds. And right now, this is for everybody. Go to Boxing News Now. But we're going to add a thing to this to where you can build a parlay. So like you can at least, because it's not interactive right now.
Johnny, we need to get this is where we can debate right now. We need to get the community away from parlays, bro.
Okay. Parlays will fucking murder you.
They're fun
I don't bet parlays to get rich, though.
I'm sick of seeing everybody crying robbery because their parlay hit instead of live betting. instead of live betting
Yeah,
or
no, no.
learning to take a
Well,
good straight bet.
all
So
right. That this is a good thing to differentiate though, because and it's a good point you bring up, and it's probably something that needs to be spoken about a lot. The guys that I know make the most money off of betting and gambling. They're not doing parlays. They have a big bankroll. So it all comes down to, are you entertainment betting? Are you doing it for entertainment? Or are you doing it
I
to
didn't
like,
say that. You're right. If you're someone that like realistically like me, man, eventually I want to gamble full time, not fake AI
okay,
gamble
now he
full
said
time.
it. Put it out there then, brother. I've never
You
heard you
know,
say that.
I don't like really, it's just not something I like talking about. That's why I track every single bet that I place.
Yeah.
I
You
want
know,
to
we don't
event.
have that. You told me on a live stream to
I know I
download that.
saw that.
We
I
don't.
actually
We
have
don't have
talked
it.
to a few people over like overseas. They don't have it, not in the
No.
US.
Yeah.
So
The
it's kind of
tippet. What do you
lame.
call it? Tippet.
It's picket.
Picket.
So um, yeah, I mean, eventually, I eventually want to do this full time. I just love watching tape. I like boxing in general. So if I could really just watch tape, give breakdowns, and gamble on it for the rest of my
That's what
life,
we're doing.
or at
That's what we're
least
doing, bro. That's what we're doing.
like, man, I don't think people understand, bro. Like, I genuinely don't think people understand. Think about it from just this perspective. I work full times, 40 hours a week. On
Yep.
the weeks that I'm going to school, I'm in school anywhere from 9 to 15 hours a week, not
Yep.
including homework and studying outside of school. Can you imagine how much extra time I have to make for boxing tape?
I know, bro. I get it.
I
I
don't
get it.
think
This
people
is
understand how long it takes to actually tape stuff. It's not
no,
like
no.
I don't go
Yeah.
watch highlights. I watch full tapes.
Yeah.
Anyone
No.
that's
It's
seen my breakdowns or read my notes know what time it is.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't like
Get
using
him.
the term, but I'm fucking obsessive with this shit. Like
Get him.
I
Use the term,
rewatch stupid ass rounds. It's like that
bro.
why am I watching this? Why am I watching Rima Iadi headbutt some French woman and it's their only knockout on Box Rec? How many people can tell you that Rima Iadi's only knockout on her fucking record is from a headbutt? Like, what are
Yeah,
we doing here, man? Like,
bro.
it's
I mean, I wasn't that
so
in the weeds.
eventually, I don't want to be doing the 40 hours in the office. I just
Of
want to,
course.
if I could do everything else and just literally tape study, enjoy my life, go to jujitsu, and then come back and tape study for a living, that'd be it for me, man.
So I made so in 2020 when the pandemic happened, I just got back from filming a documentary in Cyprus, a Lethway documentary about Dave Leduc, and traveled with him, and I made a decision. I was like, and I built a gym in my garage, so all my clients invite only, not open to the public. But I made a choice in 2023. I was like, I'm gonna stop taking in-person clients, and I'm gonna double down on YouTube. I'm gonna take a financial hit for short term with a long term sort of risk on myself. So it's a slow burn and slowly starting to see it pay off. And it all started when I started live streaming. I didn't start live streaming until 6 months ago. The Stats Don't Lie videos, those take like fucking 3 hours to do, man, because I'm editing, I'm using professional equipment, and you can do it. You just got to keep doing it. You know what I mean? You just gotta, you create systems as well. This is why I don't watch any boxing. That shit is time consuming. So back to the point, Nick, about the boys, because they're listening what we're saying. Parlaying versus one ticket, a single ticket. It comes down to risk versus reward. It also comes down to bankroll. It also comes down to sort of, what are you doing it for? What are your intentions? You know what I'm saying? So when I'm doing long parlays, those are fucking, I'm sprinkling like 25 bucks. The most I'll ever do on a 15 legger is like 50. But the thing is, they're fun. It keeps me interested. Now, if you ever see me do a one ticket, that's when you know I've gone heavy. Or like a two ticket. Like the heaviest I'll go is probably like a two leg. Nothing
Yeah.
more. Like
I
when
mean,
muscles,
I will say my biggest bet of the year this year was a
you put a
two-legger.
stack.
It was
Yeah,
Bam and Benavidez by knockout, but that's
that
just because
stack.
it gave me plus 137, and it's like, I hate to say it, like, it was free. It was
Yeah.
literally like it had not, again, I always like to think of things are, if these foes were to fight 100 times, how would this
No.
outcome come? If
Tommy
I'm
always says
reaching
that. Like
up
Tommy
to the
Randall, your
outcome,
theory, yeah,
I mean, that's how you build your own probability, right? And and I thought Bam and Puma fight 100 times. Bam's knocking him out probably 90. And I thought if Benavidez and Yard fight 100 times, Benavidez is probably knocking him out 90. Like that, at that point, you're giving me plus 100 for 290 percentiles. Like, get the hell out of here. Like, I have to smash that spot. That was my
Yeah,
biggest
that
bet of the year. And it was a parlay. So I'm not completely parlay adverse. It just, again, it
you,
comes down to value for me, man. Like, there's just no reason for me. There's no reason for me to sweat or even worry about 4 minus 450s or 4 minus 300s when I
it's
can
about
just
the pump.
like, that's just me. I can just literally sit there and I'm like, I'm going to bet this one guy, figure out how I think his best way to win is, or the best over under. And if I can get a good number on it, I'm going to take it. And I'm trying to learn. This is one thing I'm learning as I go along. I haven't always done this, but I'm learning now. I will never try to take a bet now that's anything lower than what I call perceived value. And what do I mean by that? Is if a book has something lined is a plus 100 or a minus 200, for example, say it's a minus 200, but in my opinion, the perceived value is that guy's not a minus 200. That guy's realistically a plus 110, plus 150. I wouldn't touch that with your bankroll. Now, if the book's giving me a plus 200 and I'm like, realistically, that's an even money fight, I'm taking that all day. So that's just kind of my betting philosophy and theory. And it's been a great year for me. And I think the real testament to all of these things is because it's been a great year of learning a system, building a process. Next year is going to be the real tell if I can do this, quite frankly, for a living. That's what it's going to come down to. I have a very specific goal and number for next year. And if we hit that number, I'll know. If we don't hit that number, then hey, I'll also know. So
yeah, so from you just gave away your own personal philosophy and how you're wired with your own gambling. You should all this is just, you don't have to take this advice, but from a content creator and somebody who is growing their own individual community around like-minded individuals, you also have to look at it from like an entrepreneurial perspective and differentiate the percentage of how many people are betting for entertainment, how many people are really betting heavy, how many people want to just be part of a community, how many people like doing underdog. So it's having options from that end, from the content creator's perspective, is also why I feel like you'd add more options to what people want to do, because not everybody wants to bet $1,000 on a two leg. You know what I'm saying? Did you unmute?
I'm so sorry. I thought I was all just I was ranting and stuff like I was
Did
just
you
rambling.
mute?
Yeah. So I like. Yeah. So my dog.
Muted.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. My dog's chewing a bone in a way, chewing a bone in the background. So I just don't know if you guys can hear that when you're specifically talking here for you.
Oh no. We can't hear it. What a great name anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had to name him. I had to name him after what's it called? I had to name him after a fighter. And come on, what better than what better when it comes to the man Inoue, right?
Yeah. So
I mean,
go on.
I was just going to say, I mean, my biggest bet of the year, like I said, is I did put it on that stack here specifically. But again, I didn't even like sweating the two legs, because once Bam got the knockout, I said, oh my God.
That was hard though, bro. It was going late. It went way later than we wanted it to go.
Hey, by the way, to answer your question sent from Pat, I'm studying education. Right now getting a general. So in Arizona, how it works specifically is I don't necessarily have let me just tell you, is my goal for my degree, which is going to sound crazy, is I have a goal to be the first person in my family to graduate from college. So general communications degree, but with a study in education. So bachelor in education is what it'll overall be. So that's really what I'm studying here for you. I really prefer the communication side of my studies, but but I will say that educational studies have helped with my analytical brain. I truly believe that. So
no, man, you're a wise dude, man, and it shows you're an intelligent cat. It's always fun chopping it up with you. The goal too with being the first person to get a degree, that's huge, man. My parents, they both migrated from Europe. My dad never went to school. I watched my mom, her and my dad had 4 of us on welfare, poor as shit. My mom went back to school when I was 8 and watched her graduate with a nursing degree by the time I was 13.
It's and making then when my hair stand up, bro.
And then when I was 14, so I didn't have to go to a really low, really dangerous high school, my mom had saved enough money to buy a house in a nice neighborhood. And yeah, so I relate to all that stuff. So keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Have you heard of like the Von Erichsen story, like the Von Erich curse from the wrestlers? So
Oh, you mean
my family has like a weird Von Erich curse, man.
they
So
all
like
pass away? They all passed
so
away.
so my dad's dad was shot and killed in a Taco Bell parking lot. My
Fucking
actual
hell.
father, he was in and out of prison his whole life, and he was strangled to death and left in a field and died in 2015.
What the
And then
fuck, dude? Were
my
these gangsters?
no, I mean my dad was in and out of prison, but I don't know. My dad, I wouldn't call him a gangster at all. I wouldn't classify
Okay.
him. Yeah, he's more of a Gillian, if anything,
Was he
to be
did he
honest.
raise did he raise you?
Oh no, I was raised by my mom, single mom.
Okay.
And then you know my older brother. I mean, I know you follow me on Instagram. My older brother unfortunately passed away too. He passed away from unfortunate circumstances. So I have a really interesting male curse in my family. So
Mm,
I'm trying to kind of break generational curses, like
mm.
quite literally trying to break. And I appreciate that, Pet. Appreciate you for real. I'm
Yeah,
quite
so
literally trying to break generational curses, trying
yeah.
to set, when I eventually have children, I'm trying to set good examples for having children. I mean, there's
Well,
just a lot of things that, I learn a lot from my older siblings, which is hilarious more than anything else. So,
yeah, so Nick, I something I never talk about. I spent a couple years working and teaching for this leadership and personal development university out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and one of the whole areas of sections I would teach was communications, and it was all about the benefits and the negative consequences of the self language we tell ourselves and the language we use. So when you say you're trying to reverse this generational curse, I would never. You are reversing it. So I would stop using the word trying and filter that out with something more directive. You are changing that shit. So
absolutely.
you're not trying. You're fucking
I
doing it.
also don't want to sound too brash, right? I don't want to sound like
Ah,
I'm being cocky or
this is
anything, but
powerful stuff. You
yeah,
don't.
but
You don't.
that's what's going to happen, man, is that I don't see myself, I don't see myself doing, quite frankly, I don't see myself doing anything that's going to break the stride that I'm on, man. Continue to break
Nice.
tape. I mean, I'm one of those people, I don't drink, I may smoke a little ganja, but I don't drink. I don't go out. I don't party.
Good.
I chill at the crib with the dog. I watch tape. I work,
Samurai.
school. That's my life. And I
Have
go
you
to
read the Book of
jujitsu.
Five Rings? Read the Book of Five Rings, dude.
That
Musashi talks about this.
man. Hey, actually, sent from Pat. I actually finished my tape study this morning on
You know he's
the.
from Sweden. Sent for pets from Sweden.
Oh, okay. So
So,
my boy loves him some Badu.
Badu Jack.
My
Yeah.
boy loves him some Badu. Okay, good to know. I actually finished my tape on that this morning. You may not like this, sent from Pat. Please don't take this the wrong way, man. I thought Noel won the first fight 115 to 113. Round by round, actually. I scored it round by round, went back and watched it, and I thought he won the fight by a round. That was on short notice camp where he had no gas. Full camp, full gas tank. Man, I think Noel's gonna win the rematch. I already put an official play on it. I put an official play and I already put an official bet out on it.
It is pretty interesting right now that Sent for Pet brings up a good point. Badu is the dog here.
But
So
I did just want to say this. I used a boost to get it to minus 112, so almost even money. So again, that's where the value comes in. I used a boost. If you're in America and you
what
want
the
to
hell's the
bet
boost?
a boost, like like an odds boost. So BetMGM gives me every week they give me 3 boosts of 25%. So I can
Nice.
boost any play that's minus 300 or more by 25%. And I used it
Right.
on Noel to boost it to minus 112. So
Mika
I had
John.
it 115, 113 with him on short notice. So I'm going to take him with a full camp, a better gas tank, and
I,
Badu aged another year.
yep.
You're going to give it to me at even money. I'm going to take it at even money.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I broke down the first fight. I actually took Mika John. I was wrong. I thought Mika John was gonna win the first fight, and it looked like
He
he did
did win
win.
the first,
I
Johnny. He won the
thought,
first fight.
yeah.
He won the first. I watched that fight. No money on the line, on mute, unbiased this morning. Locked
Yeah.
in.
Did you?
I mean,
Yeah.
locked in. I'm telling you, I was 2 coffees deep, baby. We were locked in. You feel
Let's
me?
go.
And he won that. I'm sorry. Set from Pat. I'm sorry, partner.
Yeah, no, separate prep that's a G though. Um, so it's not there's a couple I want to get to. Somebody just what do you think about this right here? Who would you have in Jai versus Benavidez? I need to see that fight if we're not getting Benavidez versus better. Jai versus
I just think
Benavidez
Benavidez
makes
is jumping to, like, we have to see him fight some ones, like, let him
bro.
not fight a 1 gear not fight
Anthony
a
Yarde.
one-gear Anthony Yarde, a old Gods of Kiv, and
Morrell.
and Morrell, who's also a 168 pounder. Morrell's also a
Yeah.
168 pounder. We need to see him fight a real puncher at 175 pounds before we can jump, before we can start jumping him to 200 pounds. Like,
But Benavidez, bro, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not. It's hard for. I'm a contrarian by nature. So when a fighter comes up and he has this big following, I'm always going to be a little bit hesitant. So I'm as high right now as I've ever been on Benavidez because it wasn't that long ago.
and
Where
I'm
I
an
was.
Arizona boy, so
Yeah,
I love me some David. I'd love me
yeah.
some David.
So it's like that version, bro. Against you put him. I don't give a shit if that was David Yard. That's a scary version, man. That you know what bothered me though, dude, is how comfortable Benny was fighting with his chin right in front of Yard when Yard's in the corner like this, and Benavidez is here. Somebody's gonna fucking chin check him, and you know,
Doing this, come on,
yeah,
baby, come
that
on.
that dude that bothers me a bit because there's guys in that division with not a lot of big names who could punch, so you can't be playing around like that. But mate, that output, that aggression,
If he gets cracked by Jai, I think Ben goes down, and I think
one,
Ben
bro,
goes down hard.
Jai is scary, dude.
And
Like
Jai is technically good. He covers range well.
that
He
style
doesn't
is so
walk in.
stressful.
Jai
That
also
shit.
doesn't walk in without entrances. He
No,
walks in with feints,
so many
blinders,
feints.
feelers.
His feints are
Jai's
stressful.
good.
Real
Jai's
good,
not
dude.
just bro.
No, he's mean.
The way
He's
he
mean. He
caught-
can punch. He's technical. He's quick. He's an athlete.
The
The
way he
fucking dude
started
is.
finding his reads, catching Sin Cara, circling off with the left
Yeah,
hand.
his front
Or-
foot. What he was doing
Yeah,
with
with
his
the left
front
hand.
foot. Yeah, dude, the kid could crack. Andy could crack. There's so much to talk about. The chat's heating up. Lino. I'm not trying to. Lino, the chat's going wild. I'm not trying to like ignore you here, but could you maybe be specific? What did you think I missed, Johnny? Could you look at the comments at the beginning? I don't know what you mean, bro. I can't go all the way back to the beginning. Maybe send me a DM. I'll get to you personally. Tito Mercado, Nick. Are you familiar with Tito?
Yeah, Ernesto.
Yeah. So what do you think about this upcoming fight?
I mean, that's the biggest thing is I think Tito is good, solid undefeated fighter, as we know here specifically.
What do you think about Moran, the matchup?
I think I mean he's gonna beat the dog shit out of Moran respectfully. Yeah. He's gonna beat up that body. I think Tito Mercado realistically is a better body puncher than Andy Cruz. He doesn't necessarily move the same though, specifically. But Tito Mercado
really does.
If Tito Mercado doesn't get him out of there in under 8 rounds, it's a bad performance. Just in the end of the day. And I don't think Tito Mercado definitely suffers from those lulls of inactivity. I don't think he has a promoter right now. Yep. I think that's another thing too as well. So I think he really needs a big performance. So
yeah, there's similarities with Jermaine Ortiz too in terms of like career trajectory. There's a lot of these guys who the skill set, the toolbox, all like for what the politics of boxing for whatever reason or not aren't getting opportunities. And this is Tito's opportunity. I know he had a shoulder. I think he had to pull out of his last fight due to injury. He's ready now. But I watched Cesar Vaca fight Sam Goodman ringside earlier in the year in Sydney. And I got to be honest with you. Sam Goodman rewatched the tape. Goodman got dropped in the 4th or 5th round. Wasn't called a knockdown. Goodman got cut. Dude, Cesar Vaca was a lot better than I thought he was going to be. He was a lot bigger than I thought he was going to be. And I think he's going to give Arturo Popica some issues. And I like Popica. I like RGBA. I like all the prospects that come through Garcia's camp. I think this is a fight you guys should tape, put an asterisk by, and Cesar Vaca, Popica could be on upset alert. Cesar Vaca is a legit, pro here with high-level experience. Popica's on the rise. Vaca's a guy who thinks he's already there. Because if Vaca beats Goodman, Vaca then fights Nick Ball.
I didn't tape this fight yet, but I'm going to take what you just said specifically, and I'm going to tape it. So
it's a fun fight, bro. Nick, I want to hear your opinion after. Maybe message me. You'll have fun taping Vaca versus Popica.
I'll message you.
Yeah. Vaca versus Popica. You'll be like, oh shit.
I like smaller weight classes. Like I consider anything 140 pounds technically a smaller weight class. Like anything 140 pounds and below, I'll consider a smaller guy. So I think Jai got permanent damage from that fight when he broke his jaw. It looked like he cracked his jaw when Sakara rocked him. He had a
Breedis.
Frazier Clark dent in his head.
I think didn't Maris Breedis break his jaw the first time?
Yeah, and he fought all 12 rounds with a
he
broken
fought the whole,
jaw.
and it was
Wide-eyed.
bro. Jaya Pattaya got one of those Easter Island domes, dude. Jaya Pattaya got one of them.
When I was doing the tape, I pulled up Jaya Pattaya's box rec. Have you seen his box rec picture?
It probably looks scary.
I'm not making this up. I sat there and chuckled for probably 2 minutes because it's it's exactly what you'd expect. And so I told my coworker who doesn't watch boxing, but he likes listening to me rant about boxing. It's like one of his favorite things, just listen to me rant. Bro, it's the most.
He's not putting it on though.
No,
it's not.
That's like just him.
Yeah, he's not putting it on, bro.
Dude is like, I told my buddy, I said, hey, bro, look up Jaya Pattaya and look up the picture that comes up on his box rec. And he had the same visceral reaction I did. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
That shit right there, boy. He's a bad dude. And it's crazy because we've been hearing about Jai. Like, I think it's fair to say, even though Jai was the world champ by the time Justice fought Fabio, but like, I feel like maybe it's the vacuum we live in. I feel like the Justice versus Fabio fight was really lifted mainstream fight, wasn't it? Like, you know what? And maybe that's just me. I thought that it was way more mainstream than any sort of. I feel like Jai hasn't had that yet. Like internationally, Jai whatever
his opponents, like no one knows who Claudio Sueco is. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I had no idea. I had no idea who Claudio nor Sin Cara was.
Same.
I only knew Naika because he fought someone that just fought recently.
Yeah, Naika is sparring partners with my buddy Action Jackson, John England. That's the only reason I knew Naika.
Yeah, so there's literally he just hasn't had. You know what's crazy is he's had all the viral moments, right? He's had all the viral moments.
Yeah, but for whatever
put Zorro to sleep. It's just the guys he's fighting is no one. But the cruiserweight division, it's kind of up there with the 160 pounds, with being like the dead man's land of boxing.
Kinda.
Like when you think about the cruiserweight division, top to bottom, can you realistically name 3 competitive fights? Like, honestly, without moving anyone up, without moving anyone down or moving anybody up, can we really name 3 real competitive fights? I mean, the Jack Massey fight should have been possibly the name that should have got Jai Pattaya out there. I forgot he fought Jack Massey, but so I don't know, man. I just think there's just not enough. I just think the cruiserweight division's up there with 160 pounds on being the dead divisions of boxing, the no man lands of boxing. And now with Yanabek and his testing issues, holy shit, 160 is doomed. No longer the Tommy Hearns days, brother.
People think that, dude, my favorite, dude, go back. If you guys want to do your fucking research, really, the golden era of 160 was the 70s. You had fucking Carlos Monzon. You had Tony Mundine. You had Emil Griffith. You had Benny Briscoe. You had these guys all fighting each other, dude. Just guys with records like 72-13 with 58 knockouts, dude. One of my favorite fights is Carlos Monzon, Benny Briscoe. But yeah, the golden era. You got anything else to say? I'm about to upload my God damn it, the fight that we just talked about. Imam Khataev. I'm uploading my Imam Khataev now. I got to take a client here shortly. We'll do another one of these later on in the week.
Yeah,
where can people find you?
Let's do one later in the week so I can finish out my tape. But you can find me on Twitter, Breaking B Boxing. You can find me on YouTube, Breaking Bad Boxing. Appreciate you, Dwayne Styles. I have a $13 a month paid Patreon where I like to drop my notes and all my full fight thoughts and my official picks and a lot of live betting. Follow me on any 3 of those platforms if you'd like. But if not, I appreciate the love just on the comments in general. Make sure you drop a like for my boy Johnny in the videos. And that's it for me, man. I appreciate you having me on as always. You know, it's all love between us. We're always chopping it back and forth. So
yeah, man. Always a good time, brother. I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, I appreciate you. See you guys. Appreciate everyone as well in the comments. Later, y'all.
All right, boys. I'm going to stay on for a couple more minutes. Let me know what you want to talk about. I got it. I got a lot to do this live stream. I love bringing Nick on. Nick's a beast. Go follow Breaking Bad Boxing. We really want to see Nick's channel grow. He's one of the good guys. He's putting a lot of work in. There's not a lot of us out here that actually are doing it with a pure love of the game. And as you can tell, we all got our own lives as well. You see my big head every single day, but I'm doing running multiple businesses. This is a passion for me, and I appreciate everybody in here. We're an hour and 10 in. We still got 30 people in here. Guys, I want you guys to join the Discord if you haven't. It seems like these are all the Discord boys. And also go to the new channel, Boxing News Now, dude. We got a 24/7 live stream YouTube channel, Boxing News Now. And on this one, Twilion, Johnny Great Channel, the new one of the first stuff. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'll see you guys soon.